Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 10th October 2023. In next 5 to 10 minutes, let us quickly analyze the high liquidity zones generated during our yesterday's report. So we have 5 stocks identified: McDowell, RBL Bank, Balakrishna Industries, Jubilant Food and Naukri. So let's start with McDowell. Yesterday's report, we identified it is a stock approaching near to the demand zone. So we didn't get any entry in the demand zone, but we got an entry in supply zone. You may ask me a question, how can we take an entry in supply zone? Because both these demand and supply zone, this demand zone and this supply zone, both are high liquidity zones. Please look into the report. Because it is a high liquidity demand zone, we can take an entry here. But it is already a tested zone. Previously tested this lower time frame supply zone. That's why we have to go a little deep inside. So little deep, we identified a 75-minute supply zone that is also a high liquidity supply zone. So definitely we can take a trade here. So let's go to the 75 minutes time frame. In the 75 minutes time frame, we have identified this 75 minutes resistance supply zone. So here we got the entry, but way to exit at 75 minutes demand zone. This could be your 75 minutes demand zone. But is price reached this 75 minutes demand zone? No. So you have to wait till tomorrow or during the intraday if you want to exit. In case if you are going for an intraday, you're not going for short-term trading. So what to do? Then the another option is go another time frame lower. That is 15 minutes. If price reaches this 15 minutes, this is a 15 minutes rally, base rally is a 15 minutes demand zone. If price reaches there also you can exit. But during the last hour, so at 15 hours, that is at 3 p.m. today, the price reached this 15 minutes demand zone. So intraday traders would have been exited here. But the point you should observe, the return on the investment is only 5.5%. 5.5 is a good percent. But we have seen our average return on investment for high liquidity zones is 6.1% during intraday. Okay, we got a little low, but good. Still 6.1% is, 5.5 is also a good profit, which is close to 7,000 rupees for one lot. So this is the only one trade we got. But another point you should observe, already McDowell took a deep entry. If you don't find any 75 minutes demand zone, probably this stock, this zone will be broken very soon. But let us check, are there any 75 minutes demand zones? Yes, again another new 75 minutes demand zone is formed here. So that is what happened in high liquidity zones. Because it is a high liquidity area, always at lower time frames, new zones will be formed. If there are no new zones, it is an indication that soon the high liquidity zone will be broken. Broken means it will be violated. So no issues for this McDowell stock. Still you may get one more opportunity. Next time when price reaches to this demand zone. Remember, this is a fresh 75 minutes zone. Let me draw. So this is a new 75 minutes demand zone. Inside high liquidity daily demand zone. So this is about McDowell. The next one is RBL Bank. Excuse me. RBL Bank. Look at this stock. Actually, yesterday it gave an entry, deep entry it gave. If anybody might have looked into this stock yesterday, you would have got a very good return on investment. And you get better clarity if you go to 75 minutes time frame. So this is a high liquidity daily demand zone. Inside we have this 75 minutes zone. Inside that again I fine tuned to 15 minutes. So in that 15 minutes we got an entry. See how much profit it would have given during the first 1 hour itself. You would have given a very good profit. Okay, anyway, the reason why I'm showing this stock, today we didn't get an entry in this zone. In case if you would have got an entry today, definitely we should not accept. The reason is there any newly created 75 minute zone? No. If there is no newly created 75 minute zone, what will happen? Next time when price reaches to this zone, easily it will break this zone. That means this zone will be violated. But there is also another possibility. This is an important point. You should listen carefully. Generally, we may think because there are no lower time frame supply zones and all the lower time frame supply zones are already tested, easily the price will pass this zone and it will violate. This is what generally we think. Yes, it is one possibility. But there is another possibility because this is a high liquidity area and institutions know that point. What they do next time when the price comes into this zone, somewhere near to the zone or somewhere in the middle of the zone, they might create again a new demand zone at 75 minutes level. And what that new 75 minute zone will do? It will push the price up. So anyway, you can't take an entry that because the zone demand and supply zones all we take trades only after its retracement into the zone. So what happens? A new zone will be created, price go up, and again later after some time it will come back to this zone. At the time we will get an entry. That possibility also is there. That's why many times we are getting new zones inside these high liquidity demand zones or supply zones. But remember, you can't take an entry next time when price reaches to this zone because we didn't find any new zones here. If you are assuming institutions will create a new zones or new demand zones, and if you take an entry, I mean that is a blunt entry without a zone, without a fresh zone. And if institutions don't create a new zone, what will happen? The price will go down. That's why you should be very careful. So this is one important lesson from RBL Bank. And these two are the stocks we yesterday it was listed near demand zones, but McDowell we got a supply zone entry. So the next one is high liquidity supply zone stocks. The first one is Balkrishna Industries. First, let us go to the daily time frame. So Balkrishna Industries is already tested 5 times here. That's why we want to take a deep entry. But unfortunately, what happened? We found this was the zone created in the year 2021. We found a 15 minutes supply zone. which is already tested deep inside. It went very deep up to this level, it went and then pushed the price down. Now, if the price again reaches to this zone, you can't take an entry here. You may ask me, are there any zones above this? Unfortunately, there are no zones are available here. Go to the lower time frame, you get the clarity. So there were no new zones here. Go to the old. Look here, just above this 15-minute zone. Can you find any 75 minutes supplies? No. We have a 75 minute supply here. Drop, base, drop. But this is already tested. That's why I removed this zone. If you want to draw, you can draw something like this. 75 minutes supply zone. See, it is already tested. It is tested once. Second time it went even little deep. But there was a rally base drop. So next time again within the same area, we got the entry. And here are no new supply zone here. See here, observe carefully. New supply is not created. The already existing supply is already tested once. See what happened next time. And this happened when in the year October 2021. At the zone low, we got an entry. Maybe a new orders might have been placed by the institutes here. It is possible. So it came down. It's not the pending orders. Institutions might have placed some new orders here. Because this zone reached this area after a long gap, they might have added a new orders. That might have pushed the price down, but whatever it is. Look here, next time it reached this demand zone, there were some rejections. Now it reached very deep inside this. Now see what's happening. There is a rally candle. Now a base is forming. Now what institutions are going to do, we have to wait and watch. Do they create a rally candle and break this zone? That is one possibility. Or do they create a drop candle and push the price down? If they push the price down, next time when price reaches to the supply zone, we get an entry in this newly created supply zone inside this daily high liquidity supply zone. That is the important point you should observe. This is what happens most of the times in high liquidity zones. So this is about some important points we should learn from RBL Bank. Otherwise, we didn't get an entry. A deep entry also we can't take. The reason is it is already tested. The point I would like to convey, now don't take any trade inside this zone for time being until it creates some new zone. We have to wait and observe. And what is the next stock? Next stock is Jubilant Food. It is already tested 4 times. So this is the one, Jubilant Food. And the Jubilant Food is having a newly created fresh 75-minute zone. inside the high liquidity zone. So next time when price reaches to this 75 minutes supply zone, you can take an entry. Let me show you in 75 minutes time frame. So here we have rally candle, 3 base candles, and then a drop, leg out. So today we didn't get an entry in this stock, and the last one is a knockery. Info Edge. And knockery is again a risky stock. Don't take an entry. The reason is, look into this zone. We have already tested once this zone. Here we have a 75-minute supply. So then price came down, and from here it went up. It reached. Now you have to take a deep entry. In the deep I found only 15-minute supply zone. But this 15-minute supply zone is already tested once in this candle. But we can think it is part of the rejection. Maybe it might have consumed only less number of orders here. And risk is also very minimal. By considering the factors, if prices reaches to this 15-minute supply zone, you might take an entry. That is, if you are willing to accept that risk. And the trend is also in favor for this particular stock, especially daily, weekly, and monthly. Monthly trend is down, weekly trend is sideways, and again daily trend is down. By considering those factors also, you can take an entry, you can accept. But those who are very strict, if you don't want to take a already tested zone, you can avoid this. So this is about our analysis on the high liquidity zones we generated during yesterday's report. So now let's go back to our main discussion for generating demand and supply zones. So entry time frame is daily. Let us find the stocks which are near to the daily demand zone. So we have filtered 10 stocks where price closed near to the daily demand zone. Do we have any high liquidity demand zones? So, but this is already Hindustan Unilever is already pierced 6 times. But PS zones is having a different, for trading with the help of the pierced zones, we have a different trading strategy. I guess I have already revealed that strategy in one of the videos called pierced zones. And the next one is high liquidity zone, Petronet. This is a fresh zone. It is a C underscore DZ. But remember, C underscore DZ and daily time frame is having less priority compared to the SZ underscore DZ zones. So this is support zones. Support zones are having highest priority in daily time frame compared to C underscore DZ. But on quarterly, monthly and weekly, C underscore DZ are having highest priority. Thereafter, the next priority is S underscore DZ. But remember, this is a daily time frame. So that's why when you are dealing with C underscore DZ stocks, you should be very careful. At most maximum, you can expect one or two trades. But sometimes even we have seen even a fresh C underscore DZ zones also easily failed. Okay, this is about stocks near daily demand zone. Now let us go back for entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks where price price closed near daily supply zones. So 16 stocks are filtered where price is near to these supply zones. So we can find, I think we have some good number of high liquidity zones here. So ABB is already tested once, but it is not pierced. So you can look into this, but look for a deep entry. We have C underscore DZ, but this is already pierced. We have R underscore SZ, this is also pierced. We have one more R underscore SZ, this is also pierced. PEL, R underscore SZ, tested 17 times, 7 times and 16 rejections, and it is not yet pierced. One reason could be lot of high liquidity because the depth of the zone is almost 6%. That could be one reason. On the top, it is a high liquidity zone. So what you need to do, you need to take a deep entry or fresh lower time frame, that is 75 minute supply zones you should look for. But you should also observe the trend also. So monthly is sideways, but weekly is uptrend. This is one concern, but daily is down because we are going one level down or two levels down if required. So it supports our daily trend supports our entry. But remember, it is at LOC, low on curve. The location is our concern. Next, we have a fresh zone, counter trend zone. SBI Life. It's a perfect counter trend because monthly is up, weekly is up, and a daily trend is changed to sideways. And also, it is a high on the curve. When this supply zone is created recently, but the only issue is risk reward. But anyway, we are going to the lower time frames, that is 75 minutes time frame. There we are fine tuning. That way we will be managing our risk. So these are the high liquidity supply zones. So let's go back and let us find the stocks closed inside demand and supply zones. Entry time frame is daily. Let us find the stocks where price closed inside daily demand zone. So this is the filtered list. So total 24 stocks are filtered where price closed inside daily demand zone. So look into the high liquidity zones when you are analyzing these stocks. Let me go back. For entry time frame daily, let us filter the stocks where price closed inside daily supply zone. So this is the filtered list. So total 52 stocks are filtered where price closed inside daily supply zone. Now let's find the tested zones. Entry time frame is daily. Let us filter the tested daily demand zones. So only two stocks are tested, the daily demand zones. About India, which is already a PSR zone. Even Biocon is also having a PSR zone. Okay, let's go back. For entry time frame daily, let us filter the tested daily supply zones. So good number of supply zones are tested today. So Bank Nifty supply zone is also tested first time. But it is closed inside this zone. So anything might happen tomorrow. It is a normal supply zone. But we should not forget, currently Bank Nifty's support demand zone is playing the major role. It is already tested 5 times and gave 8 rejections. And it is not yet pierced. But risk is only 1.40%. Probably reward will be increased if this daily supply zone is broken. So you'll be having reward till the next supply zone above this current supply zone. So let me scroll down. So total 34 supply zones are tested during this day. So let me go back and let us find newly created zones. Entry time frame is daily. Let us find the stocks having newly created demand zones. So these 22 stocks are having newly created daily demand zones. Let's go back for entry time frame daily. Let us find newly created daily supply zones. So we didn't find any newly created daily supply zones. So this is the filtered list. Now let me generate demand and supply zones for all the stocks for our further reference. So for entry time frame daily, I am generating demand and supply zones for all the stocks. So I will keep on scrolling this list. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there you pause the video and then you can study demand and supply zones and its parameters. So this is the end of the list. I hope this information is useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.